Hey guys, it's Emily Elizabeth, and I wanted to tell you guys I finally got a new camera. I am so excited. I don't know if you've noticed, the last few videos of mine have changed in camera quality, so I wanted to fiddle around with it before I showed you guys and talked about it so that I knew for myself what I was talking about a little bit and be able to fidget with the settings and whatnot. So I got a G7X, a Canon G7X. It's a good starter camera for me. I guess a second starter camera, but it was a step up from the GoPro that I really wanted to invest in to provide better videos for you guys. So I'm really happy that I was able to do that. So anyway, so I'm going to use my new camera to record some of this video and switch to my GoPro, A, so that I can show you the difference in quality, and B, so that I can use it to record me recording the camera, if that makes sense. Now that I've said hello to you guys, I am going to switch to my GoPro. Like I said, you'll see the quality of the GoPro compared to the Canon G7X. I still love the GoPro. It's amazing for underwater and like if it's raining, and I love swimming, so I really like having that it can go underwater. So I will definitely still keep the GoPro. I've loved using it so far, and it's super small, so it's really easy for traveling. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the GoPro now, show you guys what I like about the G7X. Okay, so now I'm using my GoPro, so this is what the quality looks like. Again, I feel like the background and the way that it picks up lighting is a little bit different and darker, but anyways, I'm going to show you what I got. So it came in this box. So I got the PowerShot G7X Mark II. The difference between the Mark II and the Mark III wasn't that big of a difference, and I didn't need that fancy of features, so I went with the Mark II. I opened the box. Camera came in this little case, and it was safely packaged in this sleeve, which I really liked. So this is the camera itself. I love how sleek and simple it looks. Again, it has the touchscreen here, and then it has the feature to be able to flip the camera up. You can use it as a viewfinder. So before on the GoPro, I didn't have a viewfinder, so I had to get really used to figuring out when I was in the frame, when a friend was in the frame, what background was in my frame, so I couldn't really tell what the camera could see, if that makes sense. So this makes it a lot easier to make sure that I'm in the frame and that I'm capturing what I want to capture. So when I'm holding the camera, I just basically had to get used to where to hold it with the GoPro, but this one makes it a lot easier. Also, I really like that the zoom function is super accessible. So the zoom function is just at the top right here, and you just click it and it zooms in pretty far, which I really like. I was not kind of expecting that. And then obviously it's able to take pictures and whatnot, so I really like that feature as well. Back has these features on it, just a little dial, a delete button, a menu button, all of kind of the same things. This is what it looks like. The lens doesn't stick out too far. And then for my GoPro, I already had a micro SD card and an adapter to plug it into my iMac, so I didn't really need another one. So I just put the micro SD card into the adapter, and I put the whole thing into my camera to be able to use both, so I didn't need another one. So it came with in this packaging, it came with the cord and the way to charge the battery. So this is where the cord and this part were separate, and so you just plug this into here. You just plug this part into here and this into the wall, and then you insert the battery matching up where these are so that it can charge. The battery is at the bottom, so you just flip this little switch and it pops open, and then you can lift the battery out. So this is the battery that it came with. I went to buy another battery at Best Buy, and they actually only had the knockoff one for $50, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay $50 for a knockoff one. Like I said, I wanna get true products so that it works its best. So like you see, you can just click it back into here, and then the SD card slides right in behind it. Right now it's in my GoPro. So at the bottom here is where you can add a handle as well, which is super helpful. And then it also came with a little string to put onto it, but I don't really use the little string. I don't need to. Anyway, so that's that. As far as any accessories I've bought for it, I've only bought one so far. So what I bought is a handle. I wanted a different handle. So this is the one that I bought. It is GorillaPod 325. I didn't want a huge one of those really big ones because it just looks too clunky to me, and I wanted it to be smaller and easy to hold. So this is what it looks like. It still has all the rings and is a tripod. It's a little bit of a smaller tripod, so that's really helpful, and it just screws into the bottom of the camera like this. And I can't remember how much it was though. It wasn't that expensive actually. It was like maybe $30. So then this is what it looks like. You can wrap it around objects, you can have it do sideways, you can just regular stand up. Same thing on the back here. Doesn't matter. And I also really like this feature where you can bend it up to look at you. Either way, doesn't matter. But I've been really liking that because it's subtle. I don't really like the clunky ones and I want it to be easy to hold. And so far it's been working out. I've been really liking it actually. The biggest difference for me is that there has been a viewfinder. That's just been so helpful to set up because before I really have to use, like right now I have to use the GoPro app so that the app shows me on my phone what the camera sees. So I have to position it, look at my phone, make sure that I'm in frame, then go back, make sure I'm looking at the camera, you know what I mean? And then also the GoPro has a very wide range of view. Like I'm zoomed in so much right now because the GoPro has such a wide lens, which is helpful for a lot of different situations, but in different cases I want different things, you know? So I really liked that the G7X is a little bit more of a narrow perspective and it just doesn't catch so much of a background because sometimes I don't want the whole room in my background, if that makes sense. Overall, I've been really, really liking it and I've been so happy with it. Last like 4 videos of mine I've been recording with this and I was just trying to see what I liked and didn't like about it. And so far, all the things that I've listed are what I like about it. It's have a bunch of different settings that you just flip through and it's just very user-friendly, which I like. Oh, one more thing. You're holding the camera like away from you. On the left is a little button. It just clicks up the flash so that you can have flash if you want, and then you just pop it back down. Anyways, so I hope you can see the difference between the camera quality again. So I'm going to switch back to the G7X now. So back now to the G7X. You can kind of see how I went from this camera to the GoPro and then back to this camera and just the different quality it has. Obviously this one's a little bit more high-tech. Got it online, I think from Walmart.com. I was also looking on Amazon. I was kind of nervous about just because a lot of them, there were so many reviews. It was just like the reviews are kind of overwhelming. I was tempted to get the one with all of the accessories, but I didn't want to get that just because a lot of people were saying that the camera was good but the accessories were subpar. So I didn't want to spend the extra money on subpar accessories. I'd rather spend a little bit more money and get really good quality accessories that are going to last me a little bit longer. Yeah, I did get this one off of Walmart.com and it worked out. So I was really happy about that and it was a little bit cheaper than buying it at Best Buy. So all the things that I like about it so far. What I like is okay, of course the quality is much better. It just has a clearer, brighter picture and it's a lot easier. I can take thumbnails for the videos and record, obviously. It seems to be a lot brighter of a video quality, if that makes sense. It really picks up on the lighting in the room and on my face and makes sure that no matter what setting I'm in, it's bright enough to provide good quality. Basically, it does have an ND filter, which acts as natural sunglasses for the lens and for the camera. So when it is in the sun, it's in the shade, or wherever it is, inside, outside, it automatically adjusts to the lighting, which is super awesome because I'm not super techie in that and I have to fiddle around with the settings on this a little bit more to get more comfortable and used to it. But I really like that no matter what the lighting is, it adjusts for me. So that takes a little step out, especially because I do vlog. So when I'm traveling and the lighting is changing constantly, I like that it's able to do that for me. Okay, another thing that I'm really liking about this camera is the autofocus. So I'm going to be comparing this camera, the G7X, to GoPro Hero White 7. So I'm going to be comparing it to that, but in terms of autofocus, the GoPro basically has a focus on me and my background all the time. So with this camera, the G7X, I really like that it focuses only on me. Whatever you see in the background, you can see, but it's a little bit blurry, but it's able to rack focus back and forth. It does have a touchscreen, which I really, really love. So I can touch on the touchscreen and click what I want it to focus on. So right now, if I click the background, it'll show you the background clearly. So now you can see what's behind me, just the little stand back there. But then I can also just have it back on me and it will kind of blur out the background again. So I really have been liking that. It just adds another dimension to it. And it's, like I said, it's really good at racking the focus back and forth, especially for the videos that I have hauls in. I can show you guys what I'm holding and then it will rack focus back to me after I take the product down. So I've really been liking that because then I don't have to I don't have to worry about it essentially. Anything I don't have to worry about is really helpful. The thing I'm really liking is the settings. There's some settings that allow me to stabilize the movement in the video. GoPro is actually pretty good at stabilizing the movement in my videos because I've used that primarily for vlogging for the past year-ish. So when all of my travels, when I'm walking around, it's been pretty good at it. This one, however, is also really good and just provides a better picture quality, I guess. So that's what I'm really liking, but I am really happy that it has that stabilizing factor to it. So far, I'm really liking that it stabilizes my movement when I'm walking or, you know, whatever I'm doing. Another thing that I've noticed is with this camera, I was kind of nervous because I wasn't really sure how time lapses would go. I mean, obviously I knew I had the capability to do that, but on the GoPro, it's a super easy click of the button. It has 3 different modes on the GoPro, so it's like picture, video, and time lapse. So it was really easy to change between those 3 settings, especially vlogging and traveling and being on the go. I could change it really quickly. So with this one, I was not sure how I would be able to do that, but again, now that I've gotten more comfortable with the settings, I figured that it can do time lapses, but it has so much more dimension to it, which is really awesome. It actually has different time-lapse modes. It'll tell you how long it will take to record, how long the clip will be. So if I want to take a 10-second time lapse, it'll tell me how long in real time it takes to take that 10-second time lapse, which is really helpful because with my GoPro, I would have to stand there for what felt like forever, just waiting to see how long this was gonna take. And so it's really helpful to have the numbers clearly shown of how long it's gonna take and then how long the actual clip is. So how many seconds of time-lapse footage I'll have at the end of the time lapse. That was something I was kind of nervous about, but I'm really liking, and I took a little bit of one of my other videos. It's just something you have to get used to when you're changing between cameras. As I figure them out more, I'll get better at it, faster at it, and it'll become more second nature, which is really awesome. Okay, also just for fun, I wanted to throw in a clip of what it sounds like or what the quality of an iPhone 11 is. The iPhone 11 Pro looks like compared to the GoPro and the G7X. Okay, so here is me recording on the iPhone 11 just so you guys can see the difference. It's a little bit more shaky, which is why I switched to recording on a GoPro instead of my iPhone early on in my YouTube career about a year ago. But I just wanted you guys to hear the voice quality and the imaging quality of the iPhone 11 Pro. I will be getting more accessories for this camera as I go along. I really wanted to get a mic, and I actually did buy a mic, and then I realized there was no spot to put a mic into this camera. So that is something to think about if you are considering this camera. I ended up returning it and just used the money towards the tripod. So it worked out, but that's just something to think about. But as I get new accessories, I'll be sure to show you guys. So anyways, that's my new camera. I have loved it. It was kind of a Christmas present, but I actually physically got it a little bit later than Christmas. But I am so happy that I've got it. I'm glad that I took the time and the money to invest in it because I really want to be providing awesome quality footage for you guys. So just seeing the difference for myself has been really fun. Like I said, I'll still be using the GoPro, but I hope that this was helpful to some of you who are considering getting it for your channel or for whatever reason you want to get it for. I have been loving it so much. I was like mind blown the first time I turned it on. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.